We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, ready? Let's go. Whip.
On first down, Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20.
Lady, check 99. Check 99. Lady, check 24. Check 24.
Back to throw, Darnold. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Darnold's throw on the money to Anderson, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. A first carry for Trenton Cannon.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Flushed out right. And that's caught by Smith. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 27-yard line. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 27. They'll run on first down with Cannon. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Darnold now to throw. And this is going to be caught by Smith for a Jet touchdown. Vincent Smith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Ready. Check Mike 57. Mike 57. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come on. 64. Weak. Check now.
Throwing on first down. Costello throwing the out route and complete. That's Black. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a third down throw. But it misses the target, incomplete. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a good result there, as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Darnold. It's caught. Smith. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Off play action. Costello. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The big gainer there on the catch and run. 37 yards. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Jets 7, Steelers nothing.
Mike, 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
You draw portraits. Lady.
Again, Darnold. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 20-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On 1st down, Cannon. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Vincent Smith with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Hey, Mike 20, Mike.
Back to throw. Costello. He'll find his running back. It's Jalen Richard. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Rashard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Hey, nice 7.
Operating from the gun. Costello toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
That seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Go.
Motion out of the backfield.
There go Mike 20. Ready.
To throw on 3rd down. Costello, and that is incomplete.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. For a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's Cannon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's good for a Jet 1st down, a gain of 13.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another 1st down with that run.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another 1st, but he appears to be a few inches short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Check. Lucky.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Here's Darnold, and he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Chris Herndon, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Jets will extend their lead. Now for the point after.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Second and long. And the catch made by Johnson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On 1st and 10, Costello. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Costello. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. It's a foot race. 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Jet touchdown. That pick-6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the 2nd half.
The extra point up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
The final shot before break. Costello. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. This is Rashard. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Hey, Charlie.
From the gun, Costello. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, they scared. They scared. Red 80. Mike 54. Mike 54.
Guys, it's game situation. Hey, exit.
Mike 54.
Here's Darnold. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
It's 3rd down and 4.
Here goes Hut.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
He's the lady.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Now Darnold. And this is going to be caught by Smith for a Jet touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always have that being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
At the 38-yard line.
Yep. Motion backfield.
57 to Mike.
80 weapons. Hey, Delta.
Bandit. Check the backer, check the backer.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that
by
is
the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Switch.
On 2nd down, this is Cannon. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. And now this throw complete to Washington.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 24-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready?
Off the play fake. Costello. And my goodness, another interception. Hooked by Tavarius Moore. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
50, Mike 50.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Darnold on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. The Jets on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Check 50. Check 50.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And he gets this away. And look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at about the 14. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. The 20. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Hey, high 7. Lead grip.
On first down, Costello going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And now here's another interception. Hooked by Tavarius Moore, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see...
And he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Costello. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Looking to throw. Costello. But it's brought in by Washington. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Back to throw. Costello felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
25 yards that time. Looking to throw. Costello to the goal line, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From 3 yards out, and the Steelers are able to at least knock the deficit down a bit. Boswell good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. So they touched it before it went 10, and that's obviously not going to help their comeback bid here in the fourth.
No, not at all, and they're trying to get something going after one there, but you've got to give yourself a chance. Let it go 10 before you touch it.
They'll run with Cannon, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back to throw, Darnold. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Come on, fellas.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
From the 17, Darnold, and he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Shoot, young lady. Slam. Red 80.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Escaping the pressure right. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up.
They'll try and run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Under crunch, under crunch, under crunch. Check. Check, hot route. Hot, hit it.
They'll run on 1st down. Richard, they find some open field here. And now nothing but green ahead of him. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 67 yards. A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Yeah, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just called the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. This is caught, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. From 21 yards away. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Hey, Alpha. Back and go full strength. Snap.
Operating from the gun, Costello. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And the Jets have got it. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
We're going to start.
Mike's fight forward. Mike's fight forward. It's been a long day for you.
They'll run it right side with Cannon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Cannon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
On 3rd down, here's Cannon. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. On the carry, it's Cannon. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Touchdown, Jets. The kicker on for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Ready?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like
Look at
this?
me. Zipper.
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And hauled in here by Rivera. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Jets, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.